My fiancé secretly planned to dump me after our wedding and take half of everything. He's just a temporary husband, she joked with her friends. I just smiled and let her think she had won, until she saw what was really in the prenup. I'm Lucas, 33M, and for the past 3 years, I thought I had found the love of my life in my fiancée, Vanessa, 31F. We were a perfect match, or so I thought. I had a good job, a house I worked my ass off to afford, and I was ready to build a future with her. She had me convinced that she was in love with me, that we were a team, and that we were going to start our happily ever after once we said I do. But then I found out the truth, she wasn't marrying me for love. She was marrying me for my money, and she planned to throw me away the second she got half of everything. I should have been angry. I should have been devastated. Instead, I smiled because Vanessa had no idea that she had just sealed her own fate. It started innocently enough, or so I thought. Vanessa and I had been engaged for 6 months and were knee-deep in wedding planning. One day, she told me she was going out for a girls' night with her friends. No big deal, right? Wrong. That night, I was in the office catching up on work when her iPad pinged on the desk. She had left it there earlier, and normally I wouldn't have snooped, but the message that popped up made my stomach drop. He has no idea lol. It was from her best friend, Chelsea. I hesitated, but curiosity got the best of me. I opened the group chat, and that's when I saw everything. The messages were horrific, not just a misunderstanding, not a bad joke, but a full-blown, months-long plan to marry me, take half of everything, and then leave. Vanessa, God, I can't believe I'm actually going through with this wedding. This is going to be the easiest money I've ever made. Chelsea, lol, girl, you're a savage. He really thinks you love him. Vanessa, of course I deserve this. I put in 3 years of pretending. After all that, I should get something out of it. Chelsea, you mean half of it? Vanessa, exactly. He's just a temporary husband. Once the divorce papers are signed, I'll finally be free and rich. I felt physically sick, but it got worse. Another friend, Lauren, chimed in, girl, what if he doesn't go for it? What if he fights you in court? Vanessa, lol, please. Lucas doesn't even have a prenup. I made sure of that. Chelsea, damn, you really played the long game. Respect. Vanessa, I just have to suffer through a few more months of acting like I care, and then boom, divorce settlement. I'm going to be set for life. They were laughing about it, laughing about using me, laughing about ruining me, like I was some disposable ATM that had stupidly fallen in love with the wrong person. I sat there, staring at the screen, my whole world shattering around me. The woman I had planned to marry, the woman I had trusted, was waiting to stab me in the back the second she could cash in. I should have confronted her. I should have kicked her out that night. But instead, I took a deep breath and smiled because I realized something. She thought she had won. She thought she had played me, but she had made one fatal mistake, she underestimated me. And now, I was about to become her worst nightmare. I wasn't just going to leave Vanessa. No, that would be too easy. She had spent 3 years pretending to love me, stringing me along, making me believe we were building a future together, all while secretly planning to destroy me. She thought she was playing a game, but she had no idea that I had just changed the rules. The very next day, I took the first step toward her downfall. I met with my lawyer. His name was Jonathan, and he had seen his fair share of gold diggers. I laid everything out, the iPad messages, Vanessa's plan to divorce me and take half, the fact that she thought I was too dumb to get a prenup. Jonathan leaned back in his chair and smirked. Oh, she's going to regret this. Together, we drafted the most ironclad, bulletproof prenup in existence. Some of the key terms included: if she initiates the divorce, she gets nothing. If infidelity is discovered, she must pay me a settlement. All assets acquired post-marriage remain solely mine. She has no claim to my house, cars, or income. This wasn't just a prenup, this was a trap, a legal landmine that Vanessa was about to walk straight into. The hardest part was making her believe that I was still the same clueless, love-blind fool. So, I acted normal. I still kissed her, still talked about the wedding, still let her think she had me wrapped around her finger. I knew Vanessa wouldn't blindly sign a prenup. She thought she was smart, thought she had outplayed me, so I needed to bait her. I scheduled a fake meeting with my lawyer and made sure Vanessa accidentally overheard a phone call. I was in my office, talking just loud enough for her to catch snippets. Yeah, I don't care about the prenup. It's just standard. I'd never actually enforce it. Pause. Dude, come on, you think I'd ever take money from Vanessa? It's not like she's after my assets. Another pause. No, she already agreed to sign it. It's just a formality. I heard footsteps stop outside my office. I smirked. She had taken the bait. Later that night, I brought up the prenup again. Babe, my lawyer says it's pretty basic, but if it makes you feel better, we can add something for you too. Her eyes narrowed. Like what? I shrugged. Maybe a clause that guarantees you something small if we split, like a luxury trip or a little settlement, just so you feel safe. I made sure to say it casually, like I didn't care. That's when Vanessa took the bait completely. She sighed dramatically and gave me her best fake loving smile. Babe, if it makes you happy, I'll sign it. But only if we add my clause too. I pretended to hesitate. Are you sure? You don't have to. Vanessa grinned. No, I don't want you to feel bad, babe. It's just a piece of paper. She thought she had manipulated me into giving her a tiny settlement so she wouldn't get suspicious. But what she didn't know was that her clause was legally worthless. Jonathan and I made sure of it. It was deliberately vague, written in a way that made her think she was getting something, but legally, it held no real value. So, when she finally signed the prenup, she did it thinking she had won. But in reality, she had just handed me the ultimate weapon against her. I wanted to laugh. You can click on share and more to see if there is a part 2.